Namaskar. Welcome back to the example number 3 for the event Professional Prospects. In the previous video, we had a detailed discussion on the example number 3 on the joining of the job and change in career. That is, he moved from one type of profession to the another type of profession, but in the same organization. Change in career happened. So we had a discussion by way of example number 3A. Now we are going to discuss example number 3B. For the same example, for the same native, we are going to study on the job transfer. So during his career, he got a job transfer at one time that we are going to study now in this video. Example number 3B, job transfer. Let us examine this chart for the event in which period the native got the job transfer. This is the birth chart of that example number 3, which we had a detailed discussion in the previous video with the example 3A. Now we are going to discuss on the job transfer. So first let us move to the EPS table. Let us change the event. It is already there for professional all jobs. We can also analyze with the help of the same event, but still for a better understanding, we can change the event. So we can change the event from profession all jobs to job transfer natal. Accordingly, that ABC, D1, D2, D3 houses will vary. So let us wait for it. I have changed the event to job transfer natal. You can see third house is the primary house, 9, 11, 12 are supportive, secondary, and all other houses 1, 5, 6, 7, 10 are all supportive, and 2, 8, 4 only coming under the unfavorable. Only grouping is important. So now I have opened that planet colors and self-significators. In this event, I will not give colors to all the planets. We can select the respective important planets and give the colors to that. That is enough. So which are the favorable planets having got grouping third house, ninth house, 11th house, and Lagna 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. All these, odd number houses will be definitely supportive for Lagna for such activities. But importantly, third house and 11th house, and 12 also can be supportive. So let us check that Mercury is 3, 6, 5, 4, 8, 12, and 10. So it is supportive for change, transfer. So we can give Mercury, because of the 8 and 12 grouping, we can give light green. Otherwise, dark green we can give. And Saturn is good key planet for job, profession, and also 3 and 9 cuspal sublot. Saturn also we can give dark green. And then Jupiter. Jupiter planet is 9th lord, 12th lord occupying 6th house, 3 and 7. This is also supportive. We can give green. So all these planets, dark green we can give. So all these 3 planets are having favorable grouping. And what else? And normally we have to look for 3 favorable houses, primary houses, along with the 11th house. 11 also Saturn has come. And Lagna. If Lagna Lord has got the favorable grouping, we can check. Lagna Lord having got 11 and 12 cuspal sublord also. So that we can take it because of the 8 and 4, it has got weakness. But 1, 6, 11, and 12, it can favor for change. Suppose this Mars planet is getting support from Jupiter or Saturn or Mercury, being the Lagna Lord. So Mars we can give blue color. It is supportive. And what else? Moon is okay, but being 4th Lord, but not very strong. And Sun is 5th Lord. It is also supportive, but occupying 4th house, it got some weakness. But look at the Venus, 7th Lord, 2nd Lord, 7th Lord occupying 6th house, 5, 9 star Lord, and 7th sub Lord. They are all supportive for the Lagna. And Venus also we can take it as a blue color. It is not having the strong favorable significator, but being the 7th Lord occupying 6th house and 5, 9 star Lord and 7th sub Lord, Venus can be taken. as a supportive. Venus supportive, Mars supportive, and Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury all favorable. So now I have given the colors to this. Now we can assign the colors. So we have assigned the colors. Now let us go to the home page. So please understand, I have given colors only for few planets, not for all planets. Otherwise, it will take long time. So in order to make it fast, because identifying the key planet is important. So let me open that significators here. So I keep it open here. And we have to look at which planets are favorable. That native is running Rahu Dasa at the time of joining. During Rahu Dasa, whether that native, that Dasa Lord is supportive for the, what do you call, transfer. In look at Rahu, Rahu has got Saturn, sublord Rahu, they are all, sorry, sublord Jupiter, all are connected because Jupiter is aspecting to Rahu also, Saturn also, that and all we discussed in the previous video in detail. So Jupiter is passing ruler link and Saturn also aspecting to Jupiter. So that way Jupiter is favorable. So which are the favorable key planets importantly required for transfer? Definitely Saturn, Mercury and Jupiter, right? So here Jupiter and Saturn are straight away, they are ruling. Now, in that, what do you call, Rahu Dasa, which Bugdi is supportive for the transfer, we have to check. So, which are the planets are having these planets in their rulers or in supports, we have to check. So, which are the planets are having these Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury in the rulers, we have to check. You can see here, Rahu Dasa, Mercury having got Mercury and sublord Saturn. These two planets are having. And Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars are supportive. And 2A level planet, all these planets are having only Ketu and Sun. But Venus and Mars are having supportive. So we know that Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury are all free planets. So their role is limited. So because of that, we have to see that whether these Venus planets, which is having favorable significator, supported significator, the source and effect, because Lagna itself is playing role, whether these favorable key planets are playing role in supports. Moreover, you can see Venus in star of Mars and 2A level is Ketu and sub-level is Ketu. Let us check whether the sub-sublord is any of these key planet as a free planet. Venus sub-sublord is Saturn. So, Rahu Dasa's favorable key planet is Saturn. That Saturn is playing role as the sub-sublord for the Venus. So, that is fine. So, Saturn is present here and look at whether these planets, that rulers of the Venus are having got the favorable key planets Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter in their rulers. So if you see that, let me open the birth chart for your better understanding. Venus is having Jupiter because Venus is conjoined with Jupiter. And that is the one of the key planet in the Dasa lot. It is there in the support. Jupiter, Venus is conjoined with the Jupiter. Star level Mars. Mars is aspecting to Rahu representing Saturn, or Saturn in the sign of Mars itself. So Saturn is connected. And 2A level planet Ketu, sub-level planet Ketu aspecting to, Ketu represents Sun, conjoined with Sun itself, aspecting to Rahu. So, Rahu represents Saturn. So, indirectly, Saturn is connected here. And Ketu is conjoined with the Mars. So, that Mars forming ruler links. This is also supportive. 1, 6, 12, 11, 12 grouping. And Saturn itself is playing role at the sub-sublord. So, what happens? Saturn is forming ruler link to the all levels. So here the role of Jupiter is present at the source. the key planet of the Dasa Lord, Jupiter is playing, key planet of the Dasa Lord, Saturn is playing. So that way, Saturn, Jupiter are strongly playing role in the Venus. So they are all supportive. Please understand, Jupiter, Saturn role may be there for all other planets also. You can see wherever Mars, because except the Moon and Mercury, all the planets are connected to the Saturn, right? And Rahu. So we cannot take all the planets can favor for that, transfer, because in Rahu Dasa, Saturn and Jupiter are strongly playing roles. Definitely their role is important, and Bugdi Lord should support from the source and effect. Effect level should be strongly supportive. Being the Lagna Lord and also having 6, 11, and 12, it is having got the Saturn in its supports, so it is favorable. And sub Lord also Saturn. Because of that, only that Venus is supportive. But what is missing here? Mercury is missing. So in Venus Bukti, which antra can favor for the such a transfer? Definitely in Mercury, because which is missing there in the Bukti, that is also playing role here. And Mercury, and you can see the Mercury itself in the star of Sun and sublord is Saturn. So Saturn is playing role. The key planet of the Bukti Lord and the Sun Lord Saturn is playing role, and Mercury also playing, and the Sun is playing role. Sun is having connection to the Saturn by way of supports, because Saturn is aspecting to Saturn is aspecting to Sun is not connected. Yes, Sun is connected to Saturn. How? No, Sun is aspecting to Rahu. Rahu represents Saturn. So that way, if you go to the PILT table, you can find Sun will have that, Rahu in its support representing Saturn. So that way, they are all connected. And the other favorable key planet in the Bugdi Lord is Venus. That Venus is playing role at the 2A level. So Venus role is present here. And these rulers are supportive. So because of that, the favorable key planet of the Bugdi Lord is Venus, and Saturn are playing role here. In addition to that, Mercury also playing, starting from the source. So the native got the transfer on June 2023. During that, Rahu, Venus and Mercury. Rahu Dasa, Venus Bukti, Mercury Antra, he got the transfer. I think we're able to understand why he got the transfer during that period. So even after that, he transferred from his native place to the, other location. After the transfer, he was working there, and after that, in Rahu Dasa, in one Bugdi, he got the transfer back to his native place. It means where he joined the job, the same place he got the transfer. Where Rahu Dasa Venus, he got the transfer. After that, Sun is not supportive. But look at the Moon. Why Moon? We already had a discussion during Moon period. He got the department change, right? From the veterinary to doctor to marketing. So here you can see the same Moon. You can see Moon is conjoined with the Jupiter. Sorry, conjoined with the Mercury, because Mercury is conjoined with the Moon, and Moon is in the sign of Mercury itself. So Mercury is strongly influencing, because that is the important key planet for change, transfer. Being the fourth lord, and in the star of Sun, Sun is connected to the fourth house, so it is coming back to the original place. And sublord is Mercury itself, so Mercury forming ruler link. So Mercury 3-6 supportive, and Mercury is playing role here. And Sun is connected to the Saturn. All these things we know that all the planets are connected to each other. So during that Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, Mercury Antra, he got the transfer, and Rahu Dasa, Moon Bugdi, he got the transfer. He returned to the original place, original location. So in that period, we have to see which Antra is supportive for that. Which Antra is supportive for the transfer. So in Moon Bugdi, the native got the transfer back to his original place. Why Moon is fourth lord? That is important one. And Moon is conjoined with the Mercury, as I discussed. Mercury is the important key planet, but is playing role at this sublord also. Star level planet Sun is having the Saturn. Saturn is another favorable key planet. So that way that Mercury connected, Saturn connected, and the Moon is also supportive for that. So during that Rahu Dasa, Moon Bugdi, he got the transfer again, right? So in Moon, which is missing, Jupiter is missing. Jupiter is an important key planet in Rahu Dasa also. Jupiter is also the 9th lord, 12th lord, it is also favorable. So in that Moon Bugdi, in Jupiter Antra, being the 9th lord, 12th lord, it is all favorable. I mean, Saturn is present, Saturn is forming ruler link because Jupiter aspecting to Saturn and vice versa. So Jupiter aspecting to Rahu, and sublord itself is Jupiter is again repeated, it is supportive. And most importantly, as we discussed, Jupiter's sub-sublord is Mercury. So that Mercury is the important key planet. It is playing role only for Moon as the sublord and for Jupiter as the sub-sublord. So because of that, the native got the transfer back to his original place during that Rahu Dasa, Moon Bugdi, and Jupiter Antra. This happened in June 2005. Please understand, in the previous video, I was taking the same period wherein he got the change in the career. He was from the medical doctor as a weight to the change to the marketing department. It means he got the transfer along with this such change in the department. Okay, so why it is happening? Because the same third house, ninth house, and 12th house, these grouping are supportive for transfer, also supportive for change of the career also. In that you can see, as we already discussed, fifth house also connected. They are all supportive for the type of the profession. That to Mercury connected, fourth house, fifth house are all connected, and Moon is connected, supportive for the change of profession into the marketing. So I think he got the change transfer got the change in June 2005, and he got the change into the marketing also the same period. So I think we're able to understand. So now one thing I want to tell you, that we discussed on the transfer, right? He got the transfer in which period? I said in Rahu Dasa. Rahu Dasa, Venus Bugdi, he got the transfer. So, which are the favorable key planet for transfer? We know that Mercury is important. Obviously, if Mercury is playing role, Jupiter is playing role, yes, we can think, yes, because Mercury is the significator of 3, 6, and Saturn also 3 and 9. Yes, we can think that Mercury can favor. And Jupiter also we can favor because Jupiter is also the key planet of the Dasa Lord. Why Venus? So, if you look at the Venus alone, Venus is not significator of that favorable third house or ninth house or 12th house, but it is got the 5 and 9 and 7 sublord, but that is not the important one. And there is no 3, 9, 12 significators in Venus in the CLOCC and CST and CSL also. But in that, so without that, all fourth also only present. So this indicating that it is not, we will not be able to judge this planet will be strong enough to favor for the, transfer during this period. But you can see that period Venus is already discussed. Venus is conjoined with Jupiter. So Jupiter is passing its, significations to the Venus, and Saturn also aspecting to Venus. So Saturn influence and Jupiter influence is there on Venus. Not only that, it is also supportive, and importantly, star lord should be supportive. Star lord is Lagna lord and 6, 11, 12 cuspal sublord Mars. That Mars is aspecting to the Rahu, and in the sign of Mars only that Saturn is posted. So Saturn by two ways connecting to the Mars, because Mars is the Rasi Lord for Saturn, and Mars is aspecting to Rahu, representing Saturn. So that way, that star level planet being the Lagna Lord, having got favorable grouping along with that impact of the Saturn, it is further supportive. And 2 level planet, that sublord planet Ketu Sun, that Sun is respecting to Rahu, that indirectly Saturn role is present. So Saturn role is present at all levels, and addition to that, already discussed, the sub-sublord of the Venus is Saturn only. Saturn is the important key planet. The Sun Lord itself representing Saturn, important key planet and free planet, forming ruler link to all the levels. So, in Venus book, the Lagna is eligible to get, change of location. It is supported. 6 house also connected, and 3, 9, 11, 12 are also connected by way of supports and also signification. And sub-sublord Saturn itself is present. Because of that, otherwise, no, if the star lord is not Mars, star lord is Ketu, or star lord is some other planet, it is not Lagna ruler, then definitely that Venus would have not supported. So we have to keep it in mind that planet level, star level should support for that Lagna, and with the primary houses, 3rd house, 9th house, 12th house, or 11th house, or Lagna Lord, if it is present, then in the support planets will have the strong impact. So the favorable key planets of the Lord is influencing this planet. So in that, which is missing, that role of the Mercury is missing here, right? Jupiter is playing role because Venus is conjoined with the Jupiter, and but that role of Mercury is missing here. That Mercury is important. So in Venus book, the Mercury Antra, that change happened. So I think you are able to understand. In the Moon book, he got the transfer back, right? In Moon book, he got the transfer back. That Mercury is playing role here. So Moon is conjoined with Mercury. That is fine. In that, Moon is 4th lord, talking about this one, so it is supportive for the native to come back to his home city. But which is missing here? Role of Jupiter is missing. So in Moon, in the Jupiter Antra, which is having all the other key planets, and it is supportive, and Jupiter is sub-sublord is Mercury. Jupiter has got both Jupiter and Mercury, and so that way, no, in Jupiter, in Moon book, the Jupiter Antra, he got the transfer back, and Venus book, the Mercury Antra got the transfer. I think we're able to understand. So with the help of that key planets, it is important to study. So we have studied this transfer, which period we are supportive for the transfer with the help of the EPS tables now. Now let us study the job transfer with the help of the PILT table. Let me take you to the PILT table and we let us study there. Let me erase this. Now we are on the PILT page. Now we have to check the self-significations. So already we studied which are the planets are supportive for the transfer, that is Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. And which are the other planets supportive is Mars, being the Lagna Lord, and the 6, 11, 12 Cuspal Sublord, and other planet support is Venus. So we have to see whether that the Sun Lord Rahu is having these key planets. Let us choose only these key planets: Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury, and Mars, not Mars. Yes, Mars also we can take, and Venus. So you can choose these planets and you can see the role of these planets in the Dasa Lord. Rahu has got, let me just a minute. Rahu, Dasa Lord is having got Saturn, Jupiter, Mars. Mars is only as a supportive, but importantly Saturn, Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, and Jupiter itself. So forming ruler link, definitely Rahu will favor for the change, that is transfer. So in that, what is the another important planet which is missing? That is Mercury. So Mercury role is important. That is not straight away present here. Under Rahu Dasa, and which Bugdi is favorable, we have to check that. So if you look at that, he got the transfer during the Venus Bugdi. Look at Venus, already discussed. Venus is supportive, Mars is Lagna Lord is supportive, Jupiter, Saturn, all are playing role in support. So Venus is getting the impact of the Jupiter, Saturn. And look at the Ketu. Ketu has got Mars that is supportive to the Lagna. But as I said, whenever that Rahu Ketu are playing, please look at their Rasi Lord, and Rasi Lord supports you check. Ketu Rasi Lord is Sun. Check Sun. Sun is having got Saturn and Mars already there. Okay. Saturn is present for Sun. Sun is connected to the Saturn. So indirectly, Ketu is getting the influence of the Saturn, right? So it means what? Sun is aspecting to the Rahu. Rahu represents Saturn. So because of that, we indirectly Saturn influence is there on Ketu through the Rasi Lord. So through the Rasi Lord, we can find from the respective Rasi Lord's table. So here Saturn is indirectly present. Saturn is indirectly present. That way, all levels are having the Saturn, and also Jupiter is also present, right? So that Venus is strongly supportive through the star level and sub level, especially with the help of the Saturn. And as already we discussed, that Venus sub-lord planet is Saturn only. Sub-lord of the Venus is Saturn. So Saturn is forming ruler link. So that in Rahu, Jupiter is supportive because Rahu's favorable key planet Jupiter is influencing the Venus by way of conjunction, and Saturn is playing role at all levels by indirectly or indirectly, and Saturn also their sub-lord. What is missing? Mercury, right? So in that Venus book, that native got the change of job. Which are the other planets having got this? You can see Venus, Mercury is present here, and which are the other planets? Mercury. He got the change in Mercury. Why Mercury? Mercury is missing here. Mercury is an important key planet, and Mercury is good, and Venus, that Bugdi Lord's key planet, Mercury, Venus connected to Jupiter and Saturn, that itself is playing role here. And importantly, Saturn is forming ruler link to other levels, right? This is good. So Mercury is supportive for the transfer under Venus Bugdi. After that, I said, during Moon Bugdi, he got the transfer back. Because Moon has got Mercury, important key planet, in supports also and sublord also. That way it is very good. Other levels are having got our Jupiter, Saturn strong. This is supporting. Under Moon, Jupiter Antra, he got the transfer because you can see Jupiter itself, star level, all are favorable. Jupiter, all forming ruler link. And Jupiter is sub-lord is Mercury, our favorable key planet. Favorable key planet of the Moon Bugdi is Mercury. Importantly, that Mercury is ruling for Jupiter as sub-lord because Mercury is a free planet. And also that Jupiter itself ruling at the planet level and sub level, which is also favorable key planet. So because of that Jupiter under the Moon Bugdi favored for the transfer again. Under Venus Bugdi, Mercury supported because in Venus is playing role and Saturn is playing role here, and Mercury is another key planet that is also playing at the source itself. So that way, during that Jupiter Bugdi, Jupiter Antra under Moon Bugdi, he got the transfer. So with the help of the key planets, selective key planets, we can identify why these planets are supportive, why not the other key planet. But still, studying through the EPS table along with the support will be more useful than studying this one. But with the help of the PILT table, we can identify the role of the key planets in the rulers and also in supports. I think you're able to understand this one. Unless and otherwise you take the role of the key planets and their supports, they are influenced by the ruler or in supports, then we'll not be able to identify. Especially in this case, the favorable key planets are all free planets. Their role are limited. So their role is importantly present in supports and sub-lord also. That way, then unless and otherwise you do not consider. In the stepwise analysis, that step number 5 is the supporting signification. So that supports that and all, it is important to follow. Without that, it will not be, easy to find the that periods. So I think you are able to understand. So we'll meet in the next video on the same example. Good luck.